Ladies and gentlemen, the moment that we've all been waiting for. Not Thanksgiving, not the holiday season, not Christmas. No, no, no. Of course, I am talking about Toyotathon because it officially starts today, and that means we're about to see Hall of Fame, MVP, greatest ever Jordan Love perform for the rest of this season, and we've been waiting on it all season long. If you're new to the Green Bay Packers or haven't really been following closely after these last couple of years, it's been rumored that when Toyotathon is happening, well, Jordan Love just turns into a totally different player. And it's funny because the stats over the last couple of years 100% back it up to where you could say, look, this is not even coincidence anymore. To the left, you got during Toyotathon. To the right, you have not during it. Well, his record's 11-5 compared to 7-9. His completion percentage goes up almost a full 10%. He's got about as many touchdowns. However, he's got 8 less interceptions and a quarterback rating of 110.7 compared to 83.9. And like I said before we showed you this, at this point, it just kind of feels like it's not even coincidence. It just feels like something awakes inside of Jordan Love. Like the Toyota Tundra in his heart just starts going, and he just turns into not only the best version of himself, but one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League. And the funny thing is like so far through this season, through the 10 games he's played, I have been very, very happy with how Jordan Love has been playing. Has he been playing perfect football? No, not the slightest. But I'll take 67.7% completion percentage of 2,400 yards and 15 touchdowns. He's had his really good games. He's had his games that he struggled. But I think we all agree if he got a little bit more help in the wide receiver room, the offensive line, and a play caller that trusted him a little bit more, those numbers would be even more inflated than they already are. And you're going to need Jordan Love at his best over these last 7 weeks of the season. And why is that? Well, you have 5 divisional games yet to play. You also go on the road to take on the Denver Broncos, and you got the Baltimore Ravens coming to Lambeau Field. So you need your quarterback playing his best football. All that to say, it is time to roll Jordan Love. See him right there. Merry Toyotathon to each and every single one of you guys. Hopefully it continues on and his play, his numbers, and the wins get turned up just a notch. It's on. Spam Toyotathon in the comment section down below. I feel like that is the first time that's ever been asked in a YouTube video, probably in the history of this platform. I'll have stats and info get on that. Let's just say it is. Spam it for me down below in the comment section. Some additional news that we Packers fans have been waiting to get. Jayden Reed posted this on Twitter yesterday. Typical wide receiver post. Something without a lot of context. Something leaving it up to interpretation. Something to get a little bit of attention. But you see him walking out of the locker room, putting the helmet on. And I took that as a return is coming soon. And a lot of people took it at the exact same way that I did because I think that's what he's insinuating, that it's not going to be long until he's back on that practice field and then back on the field for the Green Bay Packers to round out the 2025 season. And it is about time that Jayden Reed strapped it back up because the drops have been coming in droves. Earlier in this season, they were kind of non-existent. And Gage, you could just roll through these. They felt non-existent. It felt like it was something that got figured out from this Packers wide receiver room, something that plagued them so heavily a year ago. And then they played the New York Giants and Romeo Doubs, Dontavian Wicks, Luke Musgrave. They all just kind of went back to the form, especially with Doubs and Wicks, that we got used to seeing them at last year. Now, the good thing is, Jayden Reed might be coming back soon. We saw him in a very limited fashion, right? He played 2 games, but he got injured on that first drive of the game against Washington. So he really only played 1. 3 catches, 45 yards, 15 yards a catch, and a touchdown. But I think it is just what he does is so important to this team. What he can do after the catch, the plays that he can make, the trust that Jordan Love has in him. Getting him back in this roster and back on the field is going to do wonders for an offense that, let's call a spade, it's been struggling recently. Now, he's been out since September 17th. He broke his collarbone against the Washington Commanders, and they went ahead and said, you know what? He was dealing with a Jones fracture going into the season. He wasn't going to get surgery on it, but they're like, okay, if we're going to have to, do an operation for his shoulder, might as well just knock out two birds, one stone, do one with his foot as well, and we'll see how that progresses, how his healing goes throughout the rest of this year. Seems to be going very well. Now, I will report today, Matt Lafleur pretty much confirmed it, not pretty much, he did confirm it, that they are not opening up his practice window yet. He said, I know he's excited to get back out there, but he didn't say when that might be. He did throw in, though, that it's not happening yet, so I would expect it to happen sometime decently soon. But you got to be careful about these things, because when you open up someone's 21-day practice window, they've got 21 days to be at practice, and then they have to be added to the active roster, or they're on IR for the rest of the year. So once you open up that day, you got to feel confident that, hey, 3 weeks from now, I'd feel good enough about this guy to take up a roster spot for him. It just feels like we're getting closer and closer. The further time goes on, better he heals. He's been on the sidelines of the practice field over the past couple of weeks. I'd expect him back at practice next week. That's kind of the day I'm keeping my eye on. Okay? I think Wednesday, probably you can put a notification in your calendar. Wednesday's video most likely is going to be Jayden Reed back at practice if things go how I feel like they're going to go. And for when he's back in the games, we don't know, right? He's going to have 21 days to get added to the active roster. And even when they do add him to the active roster, that does not mean he has to play in the ball games. I would expect him back at least for the Denver game or the Chicago game. You'll play Denver on the 14th of December. You play Chicago on the 20th of December. Those are the two ones that if I were you guys, I would be keeping my eye out on for Jayden Reed getting back on that field for the Green Bay Packers. We got a lot more to talk about on today's show. Don't go anywhere. But if you are going to go somewhere, go to the App Store. Download the app Underdog because they are a sponsor of today's video. It's November. Football season is in full swing. And Underdog is still the best place to get in on all the action. Let's cut to the chase. If you download the app today and sign up with promo code Packers Report, you score $100 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. Play on Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like rushing yards, receptions, touchdowns, and more. Get your picks right, and you could win up to 5,000 times your cash. Here is my Underdog lineup for Sunday's game against the Minnesota Vikings. I want a heavy touchdown here, okay? Higher than Jordan Love first quarter passing touchdowns. Higher than Justin Jefferson receiving touchdown. And I've got a good feeling about Matthew Golden. Maybe higher than half a touchdown for him as well. Download the app today. Sign up with promo code Packers Report to score $100 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code Packers Report. Underdog. Big picks. Win money. Must be 18 or older, 19 or older in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 or older in Colorado for some games, 21 or older in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia. And present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/playing get terms_DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369. All right, for the rest of today's show, we're going to do something that I love to do every single week. We're going to look at Sunday's matchup against the Vikings. We're going to go position group by position group. I'm going to tell you who has the edge. Let's start with the head honcho. How about head coach? I'm going to give this edge to the Minnesota Vikings, okay? It feels like Kevin O'Connell has as much job security as probably anybody else across the National Football League. And we all know that if Matt Lafleur does not make the playoffs or does not win multiple or at least one playoff game, he might be on the hot seat given the new president. Look, I like Kevin O'Connell a lot. And I think that Matt Lafleur has had a decent 2025 season, so I'm going to give the edge to Minnesota. I don't like a lot about the Vikings, but their head coach is one of those things. Quarterback, this one's not even close. Not even really going to go deep into this one. Of all of these, battles in the position group, quarterback is easily, in my opinion, the one that is most lopsided. Give me Jordan Love over J.J. McCarthy any day of the week. In fact, give me almost every quarterback in the National Football League over J.J. McCarthy. And if you don't believe me, well, watch yesterday's video. The running back room, I'm going to go Vikings as well if Josh Jacobs isn't playing. The update that we got today from Matt Lafleur about Josh Jacobs is that he is going to be day-to-day truly, and that all their focus is on is getting him ready to go for Sunday's game. But still, that's 7 days after leaving a ball game with a pretty major knee injury, a knee injury where they felt like they had to do some serious testing to determine the severity of it. So because of that, give me the Vikings, but if Josh Jacobs were playing, obviously that one would go to the Packers. Wide receiver, this one's pretty lopsided. I think the Minnesota Vikings have one of, if not the best wide receiver rooms in the National Football League in Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson. Their stats this year are just so-so, but if they played for a quarterback that wasn't Carson Wentz or J.J. McCarthy, you better believe they would both be at the tops of the National Football League in terms of their receiving production, yards, touchdowns, all of that. But just kind of the step back they've taken this year, I don't think it's a testament to them. It's more a testament of J.J. McCarthy. Offensive line. I'm going to go Vikings here as well. It's not great. It's close. But I think we all believe that the Green Bay Packers offensive line is one of the worst in the National Football League. Okay? They, frankly, are a big reason that you're not able to run the football, that if Jordan Love has a bad day, it's likely because he's getting pressured often from opposing defensive lines. So I'm going to give that edge to the Vikings. Defensive line, though, I'm going to go Packers here. The Minnesota Vikings might generate more pressures, but that's just because they blitz more. And in my opinion, they've got a little bit more of a creative defensive coordinator. Now, I love Jeff Hafley, but he's not necessarily very aggressive. And Brian Flores is the most aggressive defensive coordinator in the National Football League. But still, if you're just talking skill-level personnel, give me Green Bay. Linebacker room, I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings right here, although Quay Walker's been playing some good football. Who knows what its status is going to be for Sunday's game. Edgerrin Cooper's been playing good football as well, but I'm still going to give that edge to Minnesota. The cornerback room, I'm going to give that edge to Green Bay. I think this is easily the Minnesota Vikings' biggest, it's the worst part of their football team on the defensive side of the ball is their cornerbacks. And Keyshawn Nixon, Carrington Valentine, they've been playing some pretty good football. Safety, I'm going to go with the Packers. I think Xavier McKinney and Evan Williams might be one of the best safety duos in the National Football League. Who you got on Sunday? Green Bay or Minnesota? Let me know down below in the comment section, and it better be flooded with as many GBs as I could possibly see. Appreciate you guys for hanging out with us today. Gage and I are going to get out of here. Of course, we're going to have a video for you guys tomorrow as well. Make sure you get me followed on social media, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel.